Hello, good day everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to today's session. We are going to work on a slightly different kind of project today, which is a follow-up to last week's stream. Last week we were busy trying to find ways to split one of the Go packages in CockroachDB to become smaller into smaller pieces, and after the stream on Monday, I spent some time to further this work a little bit, and the result of this is a sequence of 8 PRs that you see here at the top of the screen. I will explain them in a minute. And so the work for refactoring itself at that moment was largely successful. And today we are going to do another dimension of this work, which is to make an independent SQL shell for CockroachDB that is separate from the main Cockroach executable and ensure that this file is small. We are targeting, in an ideal world, something that is less than 10 megabytes. So the work to do this is identified in this issue here, and there are actually a couple of discrete points to achieve this. And it's possible that we won't have time to achieve all of this in one stream. I'm not sure yet whether we will do that across multiple streams, or maybe the work will be done offline before the next stream. But anyway, today we're going to try to achieve this. It's also possible that we won't see the reduction in size in the final executable right away, because the work is to trim down certain packages. So in order to measure this, we might go and look at the dependency graph instead of the binary size. That will be a proxy for the progress we're making. We'll see. All right, so that is the work for today. And well, if you have questions, as usual, you can ask them. The issue number. So David is saying hi in the shell, in the SQL. Sorry. I'm thinking about a window that is black on my screen, and I think about this as a terminal or a shell, and the Twitch chat is also black on the screen. And so I see the chat, I'm thinking, oh, welcome to the shell. No, welcome to the chat. That's what I meant to say. So anyway, so this is my terminal, and as usual, the issue number that we're working on is at the bottom of the screen here. And so we're going to have a little to-do list as a starting point for today. Let me remove the top bar. Do I want a top bar? Yeah, let's remove the bar. And so the first point will be to explore the prefix PRs to explain the work that was done last week, and also perhaps rebase them to fix CI problems, because apparently the CI is not clean. I thought it would be, but it is not. We'll see. And then we are going to tackle the dependency reduction bit by bit. And in doing so, we might even explore the new GitHub feature called task list. Apparently now, when there is a list of checkbox in an issue on GitHub, there is also an icon at the right side to convert that point into an issue. And I'm very, very happy about this. So we're going to try that out in a minute. All right, so the first task is to explain a little bit what we were doing. So the goal of the work last week was to extract code from a very large package in the Cockroach repository, the CLI package, that is driving the command line interface of the Cockroach binary, which is kind of like a big responsibility, into many sub-packages. And so there are multiple PRs, each of them that is pulling code out of the CLI package into sub-packages. So if we look at the first one, we look at the main part of the work we did on the live stream last week. And what we see is that there are two files. The main files with the functionality are moved into a CLI SQL client package in that PR. The first PR is the first commit in that PR is the introduction of the package with some docstring, so it doesn't really do anything with regards to code. And the second is moving the file into the package and then adjusting all the references to the function in the caller package which is in this, like in the color code in the CLI package. So if you look at all the PRs in this sequence, they are more or less similar. Code is being rearranged a little bit, and then is moved, and then rearranged, and then moved, and so on, bit by bit. So don't take too much information from this particular one, because the SQL format value.go file is actually not in its final location in this PR. It actually gets moved to yet another package later on in the sequence. But anyways, that was the general idea, the general gist of this process. So we have here extracts the value formatting code to a sub package, then the SQL connection code to a new package. I think that is the bit of code that's probably going to be the more complicated to maintain and explain in the future. I don't know exactly what to think about it, but I mean, it was needed. We needed to extract it anyway. We'll see. The next one was a simplification of this new package and a large cleanup so that it becomes easier to understand and also has less dependency injection from the CLI package. So the next PR, which apparently is not happy in CI, is, oh, actually it is kind of happy in CI, is a new package called CLI SQL exec with the execution formatting code. So we have here SQL client, which is about establishing connections, but the connections are like passive objects, and they don't do anything with the connection. They're just like to maintain the interface between a client program and the server, whereas the code in this package is actually responsible for executing queries or sending the queries to execute to the server, and then when results are received, to print them out on the screen, which is actually kind of a very separate responsibility. Then we have here a new package called demo cluster. So we have a Cockroach demo functionality, and the main feature is a in-memory CockroachDB cluster, and that belongs really to a separate package. And so that PR takes care of moving it. Let's see what CI says. Again, like it's not a major CI breakage. So next one. It is a PR that is preparing the PR that comes after it by ensuring that all the SQL shell code doesn't depend on global variables or global state. So what it does really, it brings a lot of configuration variables from the environment into fields for a struct that is responsible for the shell, for the state of the SQL shell. And this way, later on, when we move the file, we also move all the configuration variables with it. We're not breaking the dependency on global variables that are defined elsewhere. And then we have the main PR that is lifting the SQL shell into its own sub-package. That doesn't really need a lot of explanation. New package, CLI SQL shell, and then that is doing the interactive logic. And then the next PR, let's look at the CI failure here. Oh, this one is actually more significant. We're going to look into this because we're not meaning to see a failure here. Then the next one is something that felt a bit strange doing at the moment I started, but actually made a lot of sense afterwards. So really, that was the main essence of the change last week, really. We wanted to extract the SQL shell into a separate package, and this PR achieves that. But then, after this PR, I went right away to start this PR here, which is to create a new standalone command, Cockroach SQL binary, that would be able to launch a SQL shell and do nothing else. And I was hoping, while writing this code, that I could use a code from this new package directly and then call it a day. Well, it turns out that having the functionality of SQL shell in a package is not really completely sufficient to create a command line interface to it. We actually need a lot of plumbing to transfer information from the command line flags into the shell, so there is this package here defines the configuration data structure, and we need to transform the arguments that are passed by the user on the command line into the fields in this data structure. And that code is also like a little bit of logic, and it is shared across 3 different locations. There is one for the Cockroach SQL shell inside the Cockroach binary. There is one for the Cockroach demo code, which is more or less using the same configuration interface as the SQL shell. And then we would have the new Cockroach SQL binary. And because there are 3 locations that use the same code, it's not really nice to duplicate it. And so we have this PR here that is introducing a new CLI SQL configuration package that is encapsulating all the plumbing logic to go from command line parameters to the configuration of this package. And then once this is in place, we can do this work that is using this, and then everything works together, and then we have a SQL shell. And I'm going to demonstrate that in a second. I feel very good about this. It's actually a very good refactor all in all. But after this work is completed, we have an issue. And that is the issue we started with today, which is that this binary really, unfortunately, is still 100 to 200 megabytes large. And if we analyze the content of this binary, it is just everything, like all the server functionality is still there. And so how can that be? Well, it turns out that the SQL shell has certain dependencies to packages that in turn depend on server functionality. Even though the SQL shell doesn't use server functionality, it uses things in packages that are shared with other things that do need server functionality. So we have really something like packages that are too large in other locations, especially the tree package, and that is bringing in all the server code together, and we don't want that anymore. So that's the goal today. And then before we go there, we're going to try and see if we can improve the CI situation on those things here to see if we can make them green instead of red. But we have to see first what is failing really. So there is a failure in the backup CCL code, but I don't really feel this PR is touching the backup code in any way. And when I run this test locally on my machine, it succeeds. So I don't know what to think about it. I'm just going to rerun it, call it a day. It's possible also that the master branch. Oh, I just saw David's message that the top line of the editor is cut. So I think that's what the border was for. So I just re-added the border and I hope it will fix it. Anyway, so I was saying maybe the master branch has changes that the refactor branch doesn't, like a bug fix for this. So let's see. So that's the master branch. And there is a bunch of changes on the master branch. Oh, no. No, I made a mistake. Let's see. Oh, no, we are at the top of the branch. Ah, dang it. Okay, cool. Well, there might be some flake in the backup code. Like, this test failure we just saw is not happening when the same test is run by GitHub. So that means that the test is not deterministic. And if it succeeds at least once via the TeamCity build, that means that it's not failing because of the changes. Like there is at least one baseline where it works. So it's a non-deterministic change. So let's continue here. Here I think it's going to be the same deal. Yep, so we're just going to relaunch this and hope for the best. This one here has more failure. So that's actually a more significant thing. So we need to go here and look at the details and fix that. Test span record structured limit. There is absolutely no reason for this to fail in this PR. We're going to try it in our editor. Also, I'm going to start the show keys. Say keyboard logger. Yeah, so this test seems to function. And so I will just say non-deterministic failure. Maybe I should file an issue for it. I will file it if it happens second time. This one is again strange because this CI target succeeds, but this one doesn't. So I'm probably going to blame the same problem. Oh no, that is a real problem. All right. Cool. All right. So now we can talk about fixing something real. Cool. So what is being misspelled? Specified is a misspelling of specified. I like that. Specified. All right. But isn't that functionality from this PR? Let me, sorry. Let's see which commit is adding this. Oh no, it's actually this one. Okay, specified. So let's amend and push. That will take care of that. And then we have this one. Let's see what CI thinks about this. Now we have a bunch of failures that are probably more legitimate. Okay, this one is from earlier, and this needs to be fixed. An unowned package found. And yeah, we are going to do that in a second. All right. All right, so we have a new package, and the thing wants us to attribute this package here. So we're going to do this here. Yep, so that's going to be good. To fix this one CI failure, then we have this one here. 34, 32. Okay. I don't mind this. Like this. And I think that will take care of this. Since the rest has been taken care of earlier already, I think we're good to go. Oh, but I need to rebase this because I made a amends on this commit. Yes. There we go. Okay. And now we can work on this issue. I need a little bit of water. I see some red has appeared here again. Has it? It looks like we also want this to be restarted. Let's see what this CI target is saying us. Test proxy against secure CRDB. I have no idea what this is. I'm going to investigate what this code does. It's doing a regular unit test thing, so we don't really need this to be failing. All right. So if we observe CI failures occurring again after we restarted them, that might be a sign that we have some unsolved. Yeah, apparently there is like this one here. All right, so we're going to file test flake issues. Cool. Say Bazel CI target fails. Say backup CI. Say GitHub CI target succeeds. Unfortunately not. And let's see. Doesn't say anything. 142. Oh, I actually know how to do this. 142 is an indication that the process has failed with a signal. And so we are going to find out which signal that is. So 142 minus 128. That is signal 14. What is signal 14? Here. 14 is sig alarm. All right, I know how to do this. Say exit code indicates the program stopped with sig alarm, which in turn indicates the timeout. I tried reproducing this locally and the test passes by taking a lot of time. I suspect the timeout in Bazel is too low. Alternatively, perhaps this package could be broken up into more sub packages with finer grained tests. Bulk test failure. And we probably want this. And then probably due to timeout. Like this. And then call that a day. And I am not going to care about this right now. I mean, it's possible to have a review. We can just continue with the task at hand. Cool. So in which order are we going to do this work? That is a question. To start with the end or to start with the beginning? That is the question. I'm going to see there's something here that we like that is smaller. Yeah, all these things here, 4 points here can be done. So I'm going to try two things. We can split one issue into a separate thing just for funs and lulz. Did it work? Yes. All right. That is amazing. That is properly amazing. I so love this feature. I just clicked on button, it gave me an issue with the title already defined. Ah, that is amazing. And it is an enhancement. Now I'm going to see if the same feature works for an entire sublist. No, it did not work. I had hoped it would take the entire sublist here, and it did not. So we are going to do this here by copy pasting. CLI, SQL client, trim down dependencies. And then there's another thing that this does not need. Is a link to the original issue. I think that is incomplete. So, right, enhancement, CLI client, good project, and we are going to give some feedback about the GitHub functionality because this is actually important to give feedback. Right. Issue form. All right, new discussion. Discussions, feedback, issues, feedback. All right. Convert to issues on bullet point should take sublists into a new description. Use say convert to issue link on this issue. The first bullet point of this issue. However, the description of the new issue, and this is this one, was empty. I had expected the description field of the new issue to contain a copy of the bullet points under the item in the original issue. All right. That is good. And then there is another one that we noticed that was maybe a problem. What was it when we clicked and something was empty? No, it's okay. Let's leave it at that. All right. All right. Well, let's do this. Extract security prom.for password into a lightweight dependency package and use that instead of security. Let's do this. Let's do this. How many references do we have? Just one. That's completely warranted to have this in a separate package then. And that's probably also the only place where we have term.read passwords in CockroachDB, right? Yep, just the one place. That is so clear. All right. It's going to be called pprompt. And we are going to take this from here into this, call it bprompt, then have a license text, and then a docstring. Package bprompt provides a facility to prompt a user for a password securely, echoing the password to the from an interactive terminal. This is a separate package to ensure that the CLI code that uses this does not indirectly depend on too many on other from the security package. All right. Why did it not find the dependency here? I don't know. But no matter. That is good. We are going to run Bazel generate here. And we are going to go to our code, which was in con.go. And then like this. And then we get this. And yep. Password test. All right. Cool. And then C. Like this. So we drop the dependency from this package. This is great. We introduce this dependency in this package. And this one will drop the dependency on the security package. Excellent. And here we have security.root user in a test file. And that's completely okay because the test file is not used inside the final binary. So we drop the dependency successfully, and that is an achievement. So let's make a PR. CLI and security. And then security package is quite large. There is no reason to embark it into a standalone SQL shell. Towards achieving this batch removes dependency on the security package from physical client. By moving the password prompt code into a sub package. All right. Take this, then take this, and then take this, and then take this, then take this, Then we're going to copy paste this. All commits except cars that last belong to this PR by our PRs. This PR only sends one commit. And we are going to ask someone who would care about this. Cool. Did I base this from the right branch? Yes, I did. All right. That was one. And it is being achieved here. All right, next one. Stop using CockroachDB node ID and use int32 instead. Yeah, it does feel like we can have 3 commits into that PR that are going to be doing the 3 points and then have the PR close this entire issue. It's going to be maybe easier to manage for the reviewers. Let's do this. So we have CockroachDB here. Get server metadata. Let's see where this is being called in a couple of places. So in 32, then we have not used here, then it is used here. And then node ID.string. Well, I don't know what that is, but we are going to get rid of it. Oh, that's a node local command. Like this. Okay. And here I have an int32. And that's going to be an int32. And that is completely fine. Let's verify this passes tests. I think it does. It's going to need a linter at some point. Test actual lint. Let's see. Forbidden imports. And how does this work? I use all files. Yeah, so we will probably need a some kind of a special case here. We'll see. Later, linters come later. So the test passed on our case, and so what we see is that the CockroachDB dependency is dropped. Amazing. Is dropped here too. Amazing. And here we add it, but that's in the CLI package, which also has dependency on CockroachDB in other places, and that's completely fine. Importing CockroachDB imports a bunch of server code into SQL for no good reason. This batch removes the dependency by sync 32 in. Oh, we do need to have a branch for this. A different branch because we're going to have a different PR. Trim. And did we get it here? Yes, we did. Amazing. Cool. All right. And add this. Ooh, I did not have the change right in the previous commit. Okay, we did a boo-boo here. We did a boo-boo. Let's fix that first. So let's kill that. We're going to come back to this in a second. We need first to get back here. And then do this one. Then add the Bazel build file and then do it the same on the other one. Come on. Come on. Why is it slow? It's been slow since last week. Maybe it's just so many files. Yeah? Yes. That's what we wanted to see. Then this one. Alright, so this commit is for the third point here. So we have this, we have this, and then we're going to look at the quote database name in a second. What does this do? So stop using tree.name to quote the database name. There's just one place here, and that's here, set database. And we just need to quote the database. And oh, well, this takes a driver.value. So we can do $1 and then c.db name. And this is so much easier to read, and we don't need to quote anything. But that is not a driver.value. We need to create a driver.value. I don't remember how to do this, so let's see. Okay, so that's going on. Driver.value. How do you make a driver.value? Oh, I need to get it from the libpq driver, which is the one we're using. All right. Is it so? I don't know. Let's go. I don't know how to turn a driver.value into sorry, a string into a driver.value, in fact. I feel flummoxed. Let's ask the this one here. Driver.valuer. What is a valuer? It doesn't say. PQ, byte arrays, all these are. What is a driver.value? Oh, so a string is a driver.value. Oh, I get that. All right. Now I understand. All right. So driver.value is a string. Needs to be like this. And I think that is fine, right? Yeah. Yes. I succeeded. Tree.name has disappeared. Tree.name is not there anymore. We still have dependency on the tree package because we have those D interval things happening here. We're going to get rid of that in the next commit. Cool. That is the second task. This one is done. And now we have just this one here, D interval. So this code here, we have parse D interval 4 times, then it is converted to a time duration at the end. And I'm like, that is strange. And then we have another. Yeah, so all these functions here, they take a result that has this shape. I'm going to show you. Let's do it like this. So it takes a value that looks like this and then converts it to an interval value, which is like measuring a time span, and then it converts that to nanoseconds. And I'm like, meh. We don't really need that complexity because this is a very simple format to parse. So we don't really need to go and ask the server-side feature for parsing intervals. This is like just a lot of complexity for no good reason. So we have parse the interval, and then we have all these things here. And we know they are not going to involve days and months. So it's just like... it's just going to be a simple duration. And there is some kind of code we can use. This one here. It's exactly what we need. It's nanoseconds. And float to nanos. Is it float to nanos, really? That makes no sense. Why is it using a float? Oh, it's because it's considering this here to be a float. That doesn't need to be a float. Could take one integer and another integer, and then say this is a number of microseconds. That is so strange to me. Let's see how this is being implemented. Yeah, so I might have... Yeah, not my problem to solve today. We can't shave all the yaks at the same time. But this is the format we need to parse. And that's the one we're going to do. Is there by any chance some kind of parser already in the PQ library? Let's see. What do we have here? Integers, timestamps, and no interval. Right. Well, that's what it is. This is what it is. And these are going to become durations. And then we're going to remove this. Like this. And then this doesn't need to be there anymore. And then we are going to have some parse latency like this. Then the plan latency is the second one. Exact latency is the third one. Service latency is the fourth one. Job slot is the next one, and then context job slot is unaffected. And that is so much simpler. Does it fit on one line? It seems to. I think the previous presentation was slightly more readable. So let's do this instead. All right. Okay. And we were looking at a file like this. A minute second. A minute a second. Is not So we have 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2 is 8. Okay. Let's do this. And let's see. Okay. We only want 6 positions here, right? Okay, so that is not going to be too many second decimals, right? And then we're going to say so what is happening here is 0 pad on the left, so that there are 6 decimals in total. And then we can say C4 like this. And now we can do magic. And the magic goes as follows. Return th times time.hour plus tm times minute plus ts time.second plus tus times time.microsecond. That's the return value. And the error is errors.combine errors e1 2 e3 e4 and e5. And off we go. And now we're going to have some unit testing for all this. E4, I said, oh, I only have 4 components. And it's saying time and like this. All right. And now on to unit testing this code. So time that hour to minute plus 3 times time that second. Let's see. Yeah, so it's actually possible. Right here we have 6 decimals and here we have just 5. So we do need to pad them on the right side. Oh, no, we need to pad them on the left side. Oh my gosh. That would have been a boo-boo. All right. Plus 4 times... What is below seconds, milliseconds? Like this. Then we are going to have 0.4 is going to be like this. And then like this. All right. And just okay. Okay, let's run this. Yep. Noof. Noof. Yep, so those tests are passing. And we are going to check the errors. I know what went wrong here. So there is a dot here. All right. So we're going to have this here. Like this. 2, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4. Like this. Yep, that passes. And now if we look at all this, we drop the dependency on 3. That's the main success here. And thanks to this, we are going to drop the dependency from the entire package. So that is going to be great. Yes, no more dependency on 3. Ah, that is fantastic. Alright, let's verify that the resulting shell still works fine. And yeah, we still have the output here. Yep. That works. Which PR are we here? Yeah. That was the last one here. All right. So we achieved this in the other PRs. That is so amazing. All right, we've been programming for a little while now, and it's been 1 hour. And as those things go, it's important to take a break and hydrate and be healthy. So that's what we're going to do now. And I wish you all a happy break. And we're going to reconvene in maybe 5 minutes from now, maybe 10 to the hour or a little bit after that. I'll see you in a bit. Hello again. All right. So we have achieved this to kill this issue. Very happy about that. What do we have left here? We could do some of this. We're going to try out something. The reason, so there is something I do need to mention, which is that today's stream need to actually stick to the announced schedule, and that is to finish the stream around 5 p.m. in the European time zone, which is 11 in the US East time zone, because I have follow-up meetings and I can spill over to 2 hours or more. All right, let's give this a shot. Break the dependency on tree in the SQL formatter. So let's create an issue with this. And then copy paste the text from this. And then say this, and that is enhancement CLI client cool. And we're going to try out this. So the dependency is in format table.go. And we have two functions, tree.name and tree.string. This is to create an identifier, and we actually don't need that complexity because we just need the function anonymize indicator string. We don't need this, and it's this one here. Oh, that's even better. Let's do this. And we got rid of this one. Oh, no, we don't want that. We don't want this to be always double quoted. We probably want to do will be compare strings. All right. Name parts. A code restricted identifier. What is this? Oh, I see. Okay, let's do this. Cool. Nice call name. And then we can make a new PR for this. Oh, we can be even clever with this. More clever. Print W double space or W, even better. Right. And then we can say W here. We don't need a buffer. And then we can do this, and then like this, and we are good. Needs to escape an identifier. Okay, and next one. This one, and this one is a D string, and this one will need to be formatted, and it's going to be the same deal. Format row strings, and it's going to be SQL strings with flags. Let's do this. And so left side code. And then we say R. Like this, like space. Like this. And we remove the dependency on SAM3. Oh my gosh, this feels so good. All right, so that was this one. So let's convert that to an issue. And then this one is going to be this one. And that is this one. Then this one. And then we'll be about done for today. Boom. and then 2. And we have achieved. All right, so this is done, which means we're done with this one. And then we have just this one here, session data PB, and then the parser package. And then after that, we will have finished this. Except we cannot do it today because already too much work. And so I have meetings and so on, so we have to call it a day for today. But anyway, so this is ongoing. Quite a lot of progress. We did at least half of the work already, and there is less than half remaining. That's very good. Maybe I will do that off stream, maybe not, and I'm sure yet. So stay tuned, and we will recoup next week, Monday. Thank you a lot for tuning in, and have a great day, everyone. Thank you for being there. Bye.